Next question. I'm always on the outside of my friend group. It is very hard to quantify. I am friends with each of them and I like them. We have been friends since our university days. I feel the same about my childhood friends back home. We are all in different places in our lives, and although I love them, I don't necessarily feel connected to them. What is wrong with me? INFP. Okay, dear INFP. So something I want to cut, a couple of things just come to like really jump out of your question. Number one, you're saying what's wrong with me. I would like to challenge you to not focus on what's wrong with you, but instead, what are the areas where you can grow? Because innately there is nothing wrong with you, and that's just a fact of life. Innately there are very few people that there's anything wrong with them, really, really wrong with them. It's just you have areas of growth that you need to attend to, and that's fine. The second thing that really jumps out to me about your question is I am always on the outside of my friends group. So whenever we use words like always or never or every time or, these black and white words, they're often our inner children's fear speaking. So I am wondering if in fact you are on the outside of your friends group, and you might be, so I'm not telling you you're not. I'm just saying, is this actually your inner child's fear, or are you really outside of the friends group? Because if it's your inner child's fear, then you need to work on that within yourself. If it is that you're outside of your friends group, then you need to work that out with your friends. So there's two separate avenues we can take here, at least. But these would be kind of the main avenues I would look at. So have a conversation with your inner children and ask them, how, why do they feel like, what's the evidence that you are outside of the friend group? And if there is no evidence, then ask your inner children, what are you afraid of? What's going on there? And if you are outside of the friendship, so let's just say that there's actual factual evidence that the other people are getting together often and they don't invite you even though you get along with all of them, and you're just being left outside of the friends group, you can just say to one of them, hey, I saw you did an event, I'd like to be a part of it next time going forward. Does that work for you, or is there a reason why I'm not getting invited? So like kind of just going straight to the point rather than playing playing to the fears, to the deep fears that you have within you. It's really interesting about something I've realized about fears is that, you're afraid of something before you do it. So in this case, before you confront your friends, if you are actually left out outside of the friends group, the fear of asking is so much harder than the actual getting the words out, as in oftentimes we are afraid of what the outcome could be, so we don't take action, whereas once we start taking action and there's no turning back, the fear kind of dissolves. And interestingly, we find out that usually things are like a misunderstanding. So it could be simply if they have in fact left you outside of events, for example, it might be because they think in their minds that you're not wanting to go. So perhaps you've said no so many times, you've flaked out so many times that they're kind of like, well, I don't want to ask her because she clearly doesn't want to go, but she just says that to be nice. So oftentimes we actually have a lot of misunderstandings when it comes to our interpersonal problems. So when we gather the strength and the courage to ask the questions directly, most often the answers surprises me in ways that I never even thought about. So I'd like to encourage you to kind of not think that there's something wrong with you, and not think that you're always outside of your friends group, but actually face it head on. Ask your inner children, what are you afraid of? What's going on there? And if you are, in fact, always, as you say, outside of the friends group, how do you quantify that? And then ask to be included. That's what I would say. These are very developmental. This is very development space. So if you're in a healing space, this answer is not going to work for you. And if you are in a healing space, then please reach out to us and we can give you some more resources on that. But that is where I would start. So I hope that helps. And let me know if it does. I'd love to hear.